Divine Family. If you are new here, then I'm Sister Outspoken, your spiritual advisor and transformational coach, and welcome. So, today we're talking about the importance of experimenting with your chart. If you watched the episode, well, the the video of what is human design, then you understand that I discussed the importance of it being an experiment, how the first publisher of it talked about it being an experiment, and that is what makes it into a science, the documentation of the experiment. Why is this important for you to do? Number one, you never want the walk that you're taking in life is because you're just told. That's number one. You can only develop so far from what you're told. You have to seek more knowledge, and it starts in the knowledge of self, especially if something is not resonating. If your coach or your human design practitioner or reader, because some of them call themselves readers, then it doesn't resonate with you, if something that was said does not resonate with your spirit, then don't just take it because you were told it. Actually experiment with your chart. And I'll give you some examples of that in the way that I had to experiment with mine to realize that I wanted to go a different route. We'll talk about that in a second. And the reason, we'll go into it, because the reason being is this. Your human design chart is based on your astrological chart, which is at specific times, location, etc. Well, as I'm taught in my astrology school that I attended, which was Inner Magic Academy, I think now it's called Cosmic Jedi. So, that being said, it's not going to take you too far from your story, but also human error. When you were born in the hospital, every birth is different. And every person that may be handling each birth is different. Somebody may be so on point. As soon as your head come out, they like, write down such and such time. Whereas it may have took hours. You here but not here. I know when I was giving birth, my son, it's probably too much information. I'm not going to get into detail. But things happen, and they're not thinking astrology. They're not thinking, let me make sure I get the exact time. So if you saw my video on 3-5 profile, I talked about the 3-5 profile. I talked about myself as a 3-5. That was based on a change in my time through my astrology teacher, who utilizes different variations of astrology, and for different reasons. And this particular type of astrology changes my time to more focus on my soul mission, right? So he has the class operating on a different time than their birth certificate. So I not only, so it's not wrong. It's not wrong. And I can continuously hear my philosophy teacher saying it's not wrong, it's just different, right? Because when I look at my astrological chart, I can get the same story. I can with that time. It's very similar. But the differences that stand out to me matter. It matters. And it completely, in my original birth time, makes me a 2-4. So I had to dig deeper into that. And I realized I am a 2-4 profile. I'm not a 3-5. And I'll give you some examples so that you can better understand how to dig into your chart. Because there's different things that can differentiate its accuracy or not, right? And where you're at in your life. Because at different phases of your life, you can be in a different space. And right now, I'm in the space and have been in the space of a 2-4. Why did I think I resonated with a 3-5? Let's talk about the 3-5. The 3 line in a 3-5 is somebody who is just off the porch. They're outside. They are trying to figure things out in a material plane. They're just trying things, trying different things, and it's trial and error. They're usually messing up. But that 5 has something attractive to it that attracts people to them to save the day. So they're learning on the job on how to save the day while messing up until they get to a point where they've learned so much through trial and error that they can't help people. Why did I resonate with that? Well, I have line 58. Gate. I have gate 58, which connects to my judgment channel. And I have gate, which is my root. So that's part of my drive. And what is gate 58? Gate 58 is about love and life. It's about literally seeing the love in life, no matter what's going on. Right? So that's my ability during the highs and lows, not just my gate 15, which is being able to handle extremes of humanity, to assist my gate 7, which is to assist the leadership of humanity, because I can literally see the development and evolution of humanity. But it's about loving life. It's about being engulfed in life, right? Just like the 46 gate. So that I have in my direction center. And that 46 gate is about learning to be in the material body and to go through cycles and phases of life, completely submitting to that cycle and to those moments to bring out my full potential. So if you're a person designed to go through different phases and completely submit to them, you're going to go through different times in life where it almost seems like you have a different identity. You don't. It's just you're being called to experience and submit to these experiences, a part of cycles of your life, to pull out the best of you and almost like pull back layers of your potential. And it can seem like trial and error, because trial and error is a part of life in general for anybody. And if you're going to be in different environments, you have to learn those environments. Now you say, so what makes you feel like you're more of a 2 line than a 3 line? A 2-4, I should say, than a 3-5. Because yes, I experience people come to me for advice about things. But then when you look at my chart, I have the 44, which is the manager archetype gate. So I can see the potential in people and know what kinds of positions they can play around me and within their life and shine. I have the 45 in my throat. That is someone who assists or does rule a kingdom and maintain a kingdom. And that's where they speak from, and the different areas that help a kingdom move forward. It's the archetype for a leader. And so is the 7 gate. So I'm designed to be a leader. So of course I'm going to attract people. That doesn't make it a 5. You have to look at those things. So I look at the 2-4 and I'm so a 2. I thought because I was a projector that makes me an introvert. No, I'm an introvert of introverts. I really can be in a cave. Like, that's the 2 line. And why is the 2 line like that? Well, the similarities between the 1 and the 2 line in a profile is those are the 2 lines that come off or start off a little more insecure than the other lines. Why is that? Well, they handle it differently, and they both handle it differently. The 1 line, the way they handle their insecurity and they create an empowerment throughout or later in life is they are the investigators. So they investigate and get as much knowledge as humanly possible to empower them. The 2 line becomes empowered by the things they find out within themselves they don't have to study. They're like opposite in that way. Because the 2 line, when they're behind closed doors and being the introvert, they're studying because of the insecurity and it not being ready if someone was to call on them. They have this energy where they only really get opportunities from their close-knitted circles or network and being called into a space. So they're designed on top of design. I'm designed on top of design to wait on the invite. Because that's the comfortability in the flow state of my design. When I'm not, but there's a this naturally within this profile type, because my 4 wants to just jump out there all the time. The 4 is like, we gotta network, we gotta meet new people, like we gotta show some skills, like we gotta do something. If we gonna have opportunity, we got stuff going on in our life. Like we can't just be sitting around like studying all day, like, or being in your own little world. Like this is not gonna work, you know. And that's when you see the trial and error play out, because that's when you start to really go against your purpose style. Because if the 4 wins, now you're jumping off the porch when you're not even feeling ready. Now you're going into rooms and you're going to places, you're finding places to network because you just want to be out the house. You just want to be somewhere. And you want to, like, you know, you want to shine, you want to feel your energy. You want to feel people's energy. Like, the 4 is like, come on. Let's do something. You know? But the 2 is like, no, we're not ready. No. Please stay in the house and learn some more, please. And what happens is, especially if you are a fellow projector or anybody that's not operating your strategy, now you put yourself in a position against your strategy. Because the projector waits on the invite. If you are a generator, you respond. But there may be, with the generators, there may be different things in how you respond in different ways that can put you in the energy of initiation, you know, of initiating your energy. But a projector, no. We wait on the invite. And the 2 waits on being called for their skill sets, for their gifts. It's a part of the projector as well. But the 2 is a whole nother level in doing that. And I think back at all my opportunities. All my opportunities came from close friends inviting me. They invited me somewhere and introducing me to people. And introducing me based on something that I've done. Something that they're confident in me doing. You know? And those are the things that I can just do. And that's where the power comes from, the 2. The truth is, the things that empower the 2 line are things they're not even thinking. It may not be what they will even know is their best gifts. They could be studying on something else every day. It's the trick to it is the most empowering aspect of the 2 line is the gifts that they do without studying. The natural gifts. That's where their power lies. And sooner or later, that's what they'll continuously be called on. And when that's what you're called on, that's what you become more confident in. And the 4 is going to shine. Once you called into a space and you're invited into that space, the 4 is going to be happy to be there. They're going to feel comfortable because they're coming in with people that they trust into the space. And they're in the space with a skill set that's appreciated and valued within this space. Because that's the key. Those are the key terms: value and appreciation for the gift and the skill. But the 2 knows they have to be ready. So anyway, that's just my example from my chart. And on top of that, something else, you know, when it comes to making mistakes and not thriving, with that three line, which I did think I was, because I've had so many different types of jobs. You know, I've been a massage therapist. I've worked for the city as a commissioner. I've done dog training. I've done so many things that have nothing to do with each other. I was one of the people out there selling phones. Like I have so many different types of jobs, like for real. I was a fitness instructor, like it's just I've done so much. And that so it hit with me like, oh, okay, so I was just bumping my head along the way. No, I was experiencing life because I need to be in different environments, which you can also find out in this chart how you thrive. How you thrive in different environments, and if you are a routine person or a non-routine person. Within my chart, I found out that I am a routine person that needs to be in different environments every day. So I couldn't keep a job, like the same type of job for like long periods of time where I have to be there every day in the same space at the same time all the time. No. My inside, then I'll start calculating like I can make that money on my own. Like, like I can do this service for myself. Like I need to go home. Like, and this was before I understood human design. I thought it was just weird like that. I knew I had to be an entrepreneur. I didn't know what kind. I didn't know how I wanted to go about things. I just knew that this wasn't working for me. And now that I understand my chart, I understand that I'm a person that does need routines, but those routines need to be in different environments. I thrive by experiencing different environments, but keeping a routine. How does that look? You're thinking like, somebody thinking like, well, how do you be in different environments and still do a routine? Wake up between a certain time. The routine doesn't have to be, wake up between a certain time. Study between a certain time. Work out between a certain time. Eat between a certain time. Rest within a certain time. Do your emails or your marketing stuff between a certain time, or whatever you want to do for your business. Work on your business at a certain time. Do your spiritual work and talk to spirit at a certain time. Cook dinner at a certain time. That's where you might have to make sure you're at home between this time and this time, but the rest of the day can move. You have to know yourself. Some people don't need a routine at all, and they need to be in different environments. These are the things your coach or your human design reader will help you identify within your chart to be at your best self. And you can best experiment with yourself. Because this will help you. A best way if it starts to not resonate is look at where you live. Because you probably moved. Your reader will be able to show you which transitions may have happened in your life that may be affecting a change. And they can make the appropriate changes to your properties that fit where you're at in life right now. So that you can have the best map for your daily life and really understand yourself at your best, how your energy is moving, and move forward in that. Me personally, I looked at you, and I can tell you, look back to when you were a child and what you did naturally. My first business, I wasn't fumbling all over the place. I wasn't making a bunch of mistakes. My first business, I was empowered by doing something I didn't have to study. I was drawing and painting. We had just moved from Compton to Carson. I didn't have many friends yet. My parents bought me some sketchbooks and paints and stuff like that. So I would sit there and watch the Discovery Channel and draw and paint all day. Until I had so many pictures, I had nothing to do with it, and I didn't want to throw it away. So I got my little brother and sister, and I said, we're going to start a business. And we were selling my paintings for like $1.50. They were the salespeople, which was so cute. Now I think back, because I had to be like 8, so that meant they had to be like 6. and what, 3? So people was, of course, buying it. It's going door to door. But we were balling because we only needed money for the candy house. And that back then, 10 cents still got you something. So by the end of the day, we sold 5 to 10 paintings at least. We were balling. You know what I mean? We was coming out the candy house like, hey, ballers. Like, So I wasn't fumbling that business. And I didn't fumble through all the businesses I had since then. That wasn't my form of trial and error in the material world. I'm a 2-4. I'm a 2-4. So I go primarily by my birth chart, my birth, time, because of that experimentation with my human design. My astrology, even though astrology is way more ancient and trumps, that time still resembles my mission. It does. But my time, my birth certificate time, resonates with my daily life right now. It just does, and the challenges that I'm facing right now, where I'm at right now, based on where I was. The time that my astrology teacher gave in another aspect of astrology is more on, I can tell, will fit me more later in life. I can tell. I definitely can. Down to my the rising sign, all of that. I know that people will see me more in that light later. Right now, my rising sign is Virgo, and people say it. They call it, "You a Virgo, huh?" They see it. It's what I shine out, and it's what they see as a part of the self, because it's in my first house. So, and it's not just because it's also my self mode. People see that, so I know that that's my rising sign. Or they feel the fire. I have a lot of fire in my chart that the water balances out, because I have a grand water trine in my chart. So you have to know these things. You have to experiment with your chart so you can see how it plays out in other charts and assessments, and you're not just going by what you're told. So if something is completely different than what you know of yourself, you can call it out and not just go with it because somebody that mastered something said so. This is all a part of your spiritual journey. And you learn different tools to add to the artistry that is you, to bring out your full potential and apply this knowledge to the best of your ability. But it all comes with knowledge of self and doing the work and doing the practice, understanding yourself more so that you can move right. When I'm moving like a 3-5, I'm losing. It's not me. Even if I'm waiting on the invite, it's not that energy to want to go. That's the 4. The 2, I am such a 2. I am. I really am. And I have to know that about myself. And whatever you are, you have to know that about yourself. Okay? So peace and love. That's all. Have a great day, you guys. Be your best.